Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kygun, up here today with part 3 of the DVD and Blu Ray collection. So without further ado, I'm going to go straight into it. Had to pop out today. Got to go and get my eyes tested tomorrow, but I don't think I'll be getting any new glasses till next week. It's too expensive, man, to get these glasses. I might just leave it for a week and go next week and get them paid for next week. But anyway, let's just go straight into it. We've got some big box sets and stuff today. First up, we have the big box of Nyuk's Three Stooges 10-disc Mill Creek set over 40 hours. And it's a nice box set. It includes 6 feature films, a Beyond the Scenes 9-part documentary, 4 classic shorts from the Three Stooges, plus 28 shorts from the independent work of Shemp, Joe and Curly. And then all 156 episodes of the new Three Stooges animated, plus 3 classic cartoons from the Columbia Vault. So, classic Three Stooges, you know, golden era of comedy, the silent era and the talkies, you know, Lauren Hardy, Abbott and Costello, you know, Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, lots of classic things. The Three Stooges, of course, timeless classics, a cool set. Doesn't include everything on here, but it is a decent set and fairly cheap as well. Then we have Night of the Dead. I think I watched this before on like Amazon, and I remember it being pretty bad. I want to say it was like a German or film or something like that. I could be wrong. Then we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the 2003 remake, I believe, the Toby Cooper one. Could be wrong. I remember it being decent. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, in my opinion, is one of the weaker of the horror franchises. Of course, it is a well-known horror franchise, but unfortunately, a lot of their movies are quite weak. Much like the Halloween films, you know. In my opinion, the 2 great ones would obviously, obviously Friday the 13th, I felt like had a decent lineup. Chucky as well, Nightmare on Elm Street, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a well-known horror franchise, but unfortunately the movies have been up and down. Some decent ones, some okay ones, and some terrible ones. Then we have Krampus. Christmas-themed horror movie like killer teddy bears and gingerbread men, and obviously based on the evil Santa Claus-esque monster. World's End, in terrible condition. I do want to upgrade the Cornetto trilogy to the 4K set. I've only seen this one once. I did really like Shaun of the Dead's an all-time classic, of course. Hot Fuzz is great as well. World's End, I thought was okay. I think it was definitely the weakest of the Cornetto trilogy, but still entertaining. Then we have Tanks, The Fall of France. Documentary on tanks, if you will. And I found this weird. It has down here PS2 compatible. Like, wow, yeah, you know you can play DVDs on your PS2, guys. Did you know that? Actually, the PS2 was actually a pretty decent way of getting a DVD player back in the day. I remember a lot of people having PS2s and not even having any games for it. Why you got PS2 for? Do you not have any games? No, it's my DVD player. Amityville 3, Tony Roberts, Tess Harper, Meg Ryan film. I think this is part of the original Amityville movies. Amityville, another franchise that has been done to death. How many Amityvilles are there? Unbelievable. It's crazy. Then we have Let Me In, which is a remake of the movie Let the Right One In, which actually a lot of people say this is unnecessary, but still decent. And I know that they have brought out a TV show on Paramount Plus called Let the Right One In, which I believe is based on the similar thing. It's like a home invasion movie, I think, with vampires or something along those lines. Then we have Blood Rain and Blood Rain 2, based on the video game. These are Uwe Boll movies. I think. I could be, yeah, Yui Bowl movies. So, you know what, Yui Bowl produced a lot of these video game movies, and 90% of them were terrible, but they still had some cheesiness to them. Ring, the original Ring, or Ringu, depending on what you want to call it. I've only seen the US version of the Ring. I haven't seen any of the other ones. But of course, creepy J-drama type thing, horror. Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp, part of the Tim Burton lineup. Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, they're like, if Johnny Depp's releasing a film, you know, if Tim Burton's releasing a film, you know Johnny Depp's going to be in it somewhere. Army of Frankensteins just looks like a cheesy, fun movie with, I guess, like, instead of zombies, they're Frankenstein. Although, I know I'm not the first person to say it, but why they call them Frankenstein? They're not. Frankenstein was the name of the doctor, not the monster, and the monster was called The Monster. But I suppose you couldn't have a movie called Army of Monsters. Well, you could, but Cars 2, in my opinion, the weakest of the trilogy. I really enjoy the first one. Cars, the first one, might be in my top 5 Pixar movies, of course. Second one I felt was quite weak. Still enjoyable, but nothing too great. And Cars 3, I felt sort of brought it back to how the first one was, but didn't do enough for me. And then there's a bunch of Cars tunes. I know there was a Cars TV show brought out on Disney Plus as well. Oz Great and Powerful, another one of the live action adaptations of Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz, I'd love to see a dark version of Wizard of Oz. There probably is one out there, but you know, I'd love to see maybe a video game, kind of like they did with the Pinocchio game, that's like Dark Souls in Pinocchio, or, you know, the Alice in Wonderland horror game, whatever it was called, the Alice Madness Returns. I'd like to see them do something like that, but set in the Oz universe. The Hills of Ice 2, I don't think I've actually seen this one. It's the remake. I've seen the original and the remake of the first one. Both of them I enjoyed. So I hear these ones are obviously much more violent. The original, of course, is a classic, but I don't think it holds up too great in my opinion. It's still a bit rough around the edges, but I do think the mutants had more personality. Voodoo Possession with Danny Trejo. I mean, it's a paycheck. It could be decent. Nanny McPhee and The Big Bang. I've not seen either Nanny McPhee movies. Kids family-friendly movie. And then we have my 200 box sets. I need the other 2. I'm missing the war one, the documentary one, and the cult classics one. Tales of Terror, 200 movies. If you want to see an unboxing of this, check it out. I have done an unboxing on my channel and talk about all the films that are on here. And the 200 Western classics. Again, I have done an unboxing of this and talked about it. Just tons of movies on here. 400 movies just from those 2 box sets alone. It's crazy. Then we have 127 Hours. It's the sort of survival movie. Guy gets stuck, I think, and has to sort of survive. I think it's based on a true story. The Hong Kong Phooey, the complete series, another Hanna-Barbera classic. I remember having the VHS tape back in the day. I love this show back in the day. It was a lot of fun. Then we have Mother. This is a horror movie, but it's not your traditional horror movie. I think it's more like a horror movie that's set like in a more horrific in terms of the subject matter and what happens. A nice sort of lenticular slipcover. It is lenticular, but if you get the light shining just right, her eyes turn like bright blue. I've heard good things about it. Then we have Monster Brawl. This just looks like a lot of fun. Just different monsters wrestling with Kevin Nash and Jimmy Hart. But it does have Dave Foley, and I don't know if that's any relation to Mick Foley, but Paranormal Ascendancy, another found footage style movie, I'm guessing. Zombieland, which I haven't seen the second one. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I remember it being a fun movie, sort of mixed between romance, action, comedy. Monster Wolf, that is a terrible title. How good the movie is, I don't know. I haven't seen it. American Mary, from the Soska sisters. Yes, originally they were brothers, and then they both had sex changes. Of course, pretty well known thing in the movie community. But hey ho, do you? You know, if that's what you want from your life, go ahead. You know, no judgment here. I've heard good things about this movie. Then we have Peaky Blinders series 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm just missing 5. I haven't seen this show. I know it's on BBC iPlayer, Netflix and all these other things, but it's nice to have physical versions of stuff and I can check it out in my own time and don't have to worry about it being taken down. I believe actually they were filming the next season, actually not far from where I live, or some of it anyway. Then we have Ferdinand, got John Cena doing the voice acting work, sort of, you know, classic kids animation style thing. Star Trek Into Darkness, I'm not sure if this is the second or third of the J.J. Abrams versions of Star Trek. 51st State with, again, Samuel Jackson. Again, looks like it's going to be an action thriller ride for Samuel Jackson. Mrs. Brown, the movie, I thought this was okay. It's not great. It's definitely nothing like the TV show, but it still has the charm and comedy of the TV show, if you will. Then we have Alone in the Dark, another crap fest from Uwe Boll. I'm not sure if it's that one or the second one, which is considered to be one of the worst movies ever made. Then we have the Chucky 7 movie collection, or 7 Chucky movies. Although I'm sure there's an 8th one. I could be wrong, because I know they did a new one just called Child's Play, but I could be wrong. And I know there was a TV series. Bride of Frankenstein, classic Universal monsters there. Some people say this is the one of the best horror sequels. Some people say it's superior to the original. I don't know, I've not seen either yet. Mega Piranha, just looks like a low budget, terrible CGI, sci-fi-esque movie. Space, the complete series, you can definitely tell that the people who made this, obviously I think they did work on Shaun of the Dead and stuff, but you can definitely tell Shaun of the Dead and stuff was inspired by this show. Of course, Simon Pegg, fun little show. Then we got the giant 600 cartoon collection. It comes with 12 discs and over 600 cartoons. Things like Popeye, Betty Boop, Tom and Jerry, Felix the Cat, Woody Woodpecker, Three Stooges. Just a bunch of cartoons on here. I'm guessing a lot of them are sort of public domain stuff here and black and white, early, you know, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s stuff here, but still nice little set. Then we got Walled In. Looks like sort of a intense horror thriller-esque, like captured type thing. Resident Evil Degeneration. I actually think that the animated Resident Evil movies are really good. This one is definitely really good as well. I did actually watch the Resident Evil live action movie the other day. I've already seen most of them and it doesn't hold up. It's very cheesy, the dialogue is terrible, but I still like to go back and watch them every now and then. Although it makes me laugh, why has Alice from the Resident Evil movies not been in any of the Resident Evil video games? I know the movies and the video games have nothing to do with each other, or barely anything to do with each other, but you would have thought they would have put Alice as a playable character in like the Mercenaries or Reverse or something like that. You know, I thought she was pretty badass. Despicable Me 2, I think I've only seen Minions, and I could not stand it. I really don't understand why these are so popular. I just think they're annoying. Just, I mean, for kids, yeah, but you had all these people, adults loving it, and I'm like, look, do you, man, do you. But for me personally, if I want to watch some classic animated stuff, I'll stick to, you know, some Aristocats or Hunchback of Notre Dame or something. You know, The Final Sacrifice, I think it's the World War II movie. The Dukes of Hazzard, the Johnny Knoxville film, of course, Johnny Knoxville. I've not seen any Dukes of Hazzard. My partner likes it. Then we have The Terminal with Tom Hanks. I think it's a rom-com. The Lovely Bones, Mark Wahlberg, Rachel Weisz. I'm guessing this is a thriller, suspense, romance-esque. I don't really know. The two Predator movies, which I do want to upgrade to Blu-ray. They do have a complete set for the Predator stuff, but of course classic sci-fi horror movies. I'd say they are horror movies. It's an evil alien hunting people. I Spit on Your Grave 1 and 2. I'm probably going to get rid of this because I've got the Blu Ray collection now. So if anyone's interested in doing a trade for this or wants to buy it off me, feel free to hit me up. Then we have Wakewood, another looks like a low budget horror movie. Horror is probably my favourite genre, so I'm very forgiving with horror movies. Now You See Me, it's a sort of mix between a magic film and a heist movie, I believe. It's sort of, I could be wrong, but I'm sure that's what it's about. Land of the Dead, which I thought this movie was really good. I think it's one of the better zombie movies out there. Of course, George A. Romero. Of course, his early work is obviously superior to his later work. There's no denying that. But I thought this one was still a lot of fun. Cave Girl and Witchcraft 2. I'm guessing low budget mix between horror and softcore porn. Doom. Again, it's been a long time since I've seen this. I would much prefer just if you want to see Doom, just play the game. But who doesn't love Doom, you know? Dead Rising Watchtower. I've heard good things about the two Dead Rising movies. They're not great movies, but they are decent sort of action horror stuff. Then we got a movie Nazi Zombies, just called Nazi Zombies. How many Nazi zombie movies are there? I don't know. Probably a lot. Rites of Spring. Looks like a horror movie of sorts. I'm guessing something along the lines of hunting and creatures and whatnot. Outpost, another Nazi zombie movie. One really good Nazi zombie movie is Dead Snow. The second one is just balls to the walls, man. The first one's a little bit more comedic and a little bit more somewhat horror, but the second one is just balls to the walls. I'm talking about people getting blown up, people in wheelchairs getting killed, babies getting killed. I ain't even joking. It's insane. And I loved it. I know that's terrible to say, but I thought it was amazing. Mother Krampus, another one of the sort of Christmas horror films. Let me know your favourite Christmas horror film. Of course, Silent Night, Deadly Night is obviously one of the most notorious ones. Black Christmas as well. Krampus as well. So another good one, newer one, was a Christmas Horror Story. Had William Shatner in it. Then we have the 4 Wrong Turn movies. I know there's 6 Wrong Turn movies, and then they did a remake or a reboot. I've heard the first 2 ones are pretty good, and then they just go downhill from there. And last but not least, we have Creep. Looks like a sort of over-the-top violent movie set in a subway station or something along those lines. And there's my copy of WWE 2K22. So if you're wondering, do I still have a copy of it? Yes, I do. It's the only PS4 game I've got. In fact, it's the only physical game I've actually got in at all. To be honest, it's the only game I'm really playing at the moment. I'm still I think I'm on coming up to SummerSlam in my first year of Universe mode. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. My son's back at school now, so hopefully things will be a bit easier now and a bit more calmer for us. But I'm going to go and chill for a little bit before I have to start tidying up and get dinner ready for us all. I actually did start Dragon Ball last night. I just thought I'd say that I did start it, and I watched 7 episodes from the original Dragon Ball, and I thought it was a lot of fun actually. It was very fun show. Definitely a massive step back from Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z just goes straight into the action and the fighting, whereas Dragon Ball is more about the adventure, and I think it's more comedic as well. But obviously I know as the seasons go on it gets more action orientated, but classic as well. So I have started that. Tonight I'm going to watch the 2000 pay-per-view for No Mercy, WWF No Mercy 2000. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching, and as always leave a like, comment below, let me know anything here that you've seen or think is decent, and as always guys, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MadKarga, and have a nice day.